All right, ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to What's Here Now, Kid?
Where we take the wise and often wild and wacky wisdom of children and apply it to our overly complicated adult lives. In this episode of What's Here Now, Kid, we talk about all the cool moments that we have each and every day and how not to discard them while looking for the next best thing coming right behind it.
So, what's here now, kid?
I'm outside at my aunt's house, and we're having a family dinner, and I was just swimming with my mermaid tail.
How cool is it to swim with a mermaid tail?
It's pretty cool when you are underwater and you can go very fast, because today I went down and back in the pool without taking a breath.
Wow. What would it be like if you could take 2 breaths?
Easier.
You dope. What would it be like if you had 2 mermaid tails?
Well, you can only use one at a time, but it would be pretty cool to have 2.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to have 2. But there didn't seem like there was a lot of thought around the possibility of having a second one.
No, she was jazzed up about what she had accomplished.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if we didn't pay enough attention to that. It was right away the adult coming in and saying, what can you do more of? Or
Exactly.
can I have more of that? Like
Right.
2 breaths, 2 tails, right? 2 laps of the pool, instead of just saying, that's awesome. You just, you just took this crazy Disney-esque prosthetic and you went the length of the pool in with no breath.
There and back. I mean, I just kind of felt this like glittery, using your Disney kind of analogy, this sort of glittery glow from her.
Yeah.
Energetically of just like, how cool was it? Because she said how fast you can go.
Yeah.
And I just envisioned her just under that pool. She was in heaven. She had done everything she needed to do in that moment.
Super journey focused. Yeah, that took there, 10 seconds maybe to
Right.
go down and back or whatever she did. I didn't actually witness her do it. She's just telling me about it. So I'm assuming it was, by her standards, pretty quick.
Right.
Right?
Well, and I think it's so much of what we talk about that she had the experience and that was enough for her. More than enough. It was perfect.
And the other thing that keeps coming up, and we were talking about this before we really, we were going to lay down this recording, was that the thing that came out for me was abundance.
Right.
And then, how much of a good thing do you need?
Right.
Am I collecting mermaid tails? Do I need them all nailed to the wall? Or is one enough? And I get my cool journey out of the one.
Well, and also too, it's like we can do this. Oh, then that must be, we can do that better. Or like you say, I have 1, but 2 means it's better.
But that's adult stuff,
exactly
right?
right. Yep.
I'm already asking her for a PR.
Right? I have $100, so that means 200 would be better. I don't even know what I'm going to do with 100,
Right.
And it's enough, but we're constantly, I think that's why we developed this podcast. We're constantly thinking ahead, forward, and missing the gold that's right here, right now.
Yeah. Maybe too, this just came to mind, Catherine. What about that whole idea where adults need to keep score?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? She was excited about the opportunity, something that she hadn't thought of before, like how do I get to the pool, down to the pool and back
Right.
with 1 breath?
Right.
Right? And right away we're like, how can you do it with 2 and 2 tails? And
How can you monetize that?
Yeah. Yeah, how can you make money
Are you
from
going to be
that,
an Olympian
kid?
mermaid swimmer?
Yeah.
Because if not,
Yeah, what's here now, kid, with money?
Right.
Yeah, I exactly. And so that's coming up for me now too. Is like this whole idea, and we've got an audience in the studio that is determined to snore their way through the entire show. So yeah, what is it that drives us to want to keep score?
I would almost point us in a different direction, almost in line with that, because it's like what about the beauty that she found? What about the gold in that moment for her? Like, what was your takeaway from that? You were sitting there with her. Something prompted you to record this with her. That wasn't on your agenda. Like, what spoke to you about that moment in that moment? I'm curious.
Well, I watched them. This was like a little pool party that was going on, right, with old family friends. Hadn't seen them in a bit, and this girl is the daughter of one of my oldest friends.
Okay,
and so I was down there seeing her family and just having a blast. And I see her daughters, my friend's daughters, in the pool with these. I'm like, who are those kids? Who are those fish? Right? I didn't know. I didn't recognize when I first walked into the party that it was her two daughters.
Okay.
And I'm watching, like, what the heck is that? What are they? Oh, it's those mermaid tail things, right?
Okay.
And so I think that was curiosity. And my point is, like, what's the value in having those? Is it just fun? Is it the cool thing to do? Are you supposed to do it at this age? I've seen them at the town pool, right?
Okay.
So it's not like complete wonderment. And we got talking about a couple of things sitting there at one of those little tables, the poolside tables, and this came up, Sort of like, what's going on with those mermaid tails? What's the greatness behind? I looked at them and thought, God, if that was on me, I'd be sweaty, right? But for them, it was really an awesome thing, and they were in the pool for a long time playing them, so they must love them, right? So naturally, I had to come in there and go, all right, what is happening? Tell me about it.
Right, and so the dichotomy for me is this curiosity and wonderment about this cool thing. She emanates this joy, and we immediately in our adult minds go to, what if you had two?
I think that's the thing, Catherine. That's the thing. We were listening to this. This was a recording. I wasn't even thinking about putting an episode on.
Right.
There's another one I wanted to do that I thought was really brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think about this one, all I can think of is adults having to take something, a journey that's just a wonderful experience, and somehow monetize it, keep score with it.
Make it better. Do more with it.
Yeah, like immediately I have to do something here and create an enterprise around it.
Right.
And that enterprise isn't, I'm not thinking of it just as a business, but as something, an organized hobby. I like riding my bike. Tomorrow, I'm going to be an Ironman.
Right.
Well,
Well, and I talked a little bit about
really?
too, right?
Yeah.
How I watch my 5-year-old, and he picks up anything in his environment and fully experience. Like, he just has so much fun with whatever. He'll see a pen, a toys we've had forever, and pick it up and just play with it. And then he's moving on to the next thing. I mean, fully experiencing life instead of trying to do something with it, make it something, make it into this, make it into that. And once he's done, he's done. He's on to the next thing.
Good to go.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. I think the recognition here is, for me, the value is to recognize it for what it is. It's a cool thing that she likes to play with in the pool, and it gave her an experience of something she didn't think she could do. Maybe she didn't think she could get to the end of the pool and back in one breath.
Brought her joy. That's what I heard.
Enough to tell me about it.
Right? And smile through the recording. I could hear that. She
was
lit up.
Yeah. I mean, clearly just completely interested in that. And to complete the answer to your question of me, especially now that I listen to it again, is my follow-up questions did not necessarily resonate with her.
Right. She really was like, well,
yeah.
Why would I need two? Well, you can only wear one at the time. Exactly.
Right?
She was more, yeah, absolutely. It took her out of the moment almost.
Took her out of the moment. Good coaching, Joe. way to help your client go
you have
to
a
the
coach,
next
right?
Yeah, right. Who's now firing me?
Need one.
Who's now firing me?
Exactly.
Oh my God, I don't want to coach that guy.
Right. And it does bring me back to the piece about what we do so often in coaching is sheer curiosity.
Yes. And
really open-ended. Wow, what was that like for you? Because that really emanated from her, what that was like for her. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got curious about your experience of her, and then, could see where your brain tapped in and was like, hey,
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And so my takeaway from that is how to more fully experience the moment of what is. Mm-hmm. What's here now? What is here that's beautiful and amazing, even as ordinary as it may be?
Yeah, I like it. And as a doing, maybe a takeaway here today is for everyone who's tuned in here on this, I'm talking to you right now, is what can you do today that you don't keep score with? Like what happened great today?
Yeah.
And you didn't decide to monetize it, weaponize it, keep score with it.
Yeah. Like honor that. Yeah, I love that because that was the other thing I was thinking of. We have these experiences like she had, but we often discard them.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth anything because we couldn't monetize it or we couldn't take it here. But right?
Yes. Right. It gets discarded. When it was a really cool thing, I don't know how I would ever do that again.
Right.
Yep.
So how to really honor and appreciate that which is happening that is really amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God-given, divine.
And that can be for anything. It's physical, spiritual, emotional.
It can be washing the dishes and having the sunlight come in the window in a way that you hadn't noticed before, twinkling through the trees. I mean, that's an amazing experience to be on this planet and see that and feel it and experience it.
Yeah. Yeah.
To have dishes to wash, to have a sink in a house that is yours, that's all amazing.
I love it. I think I'm good with this.
Me too.
All right. Anything else? We got takeaways on this night. So you guys feel comfortable with the takeaways we gave you? Let us know. I mean, but
Absolutely.
This one's really a lot more about being than doing something. I'm not going to give you all something to do other than to just, I guess it's a recognition.
And be aware. I think notice.
Be aware.
Yeah. Just
all
kind of
right.
notice.
So don't keep score all the time, damn it. All right.
All right. I love it.
Hey, Catherine, where do they find us?
We are at what'sherenowkid.com.
What'sherenowkid.com. It gets better every time you say it.
I know, doesn't it? It's just cool.
And I'm Joe Shum. I'm a success coach with Soul Patch Hippo. Be big, be cool, be hippo.
And I'm Catherine Sable. I am a coach as well, and I inspire entrepreneurs to do epic shit.
Yeah. Do you remember carnivals as a kid? Street fairs, church bazaars? Running around till the lights came on, taking the rides, playing the games, and eating all that wholesome, nutritious food like funnel cakes and candied apples. On our next episode, we're going to talk about how you, as an adult, can create a carnival for yourself whenever you want it and need it. Create some rides, games, and eat a lot of that nutritious food. And I won't tell your mother that you had a second helping of cotton candy. So, what's here now, kid?
What? Wait, what?